This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, is it started? Yes. Okay, so let's start the class today. So looks like a lot of other Indian folks is also joined in the class. Let's okay, cool. So today we will discuss about basics of the SQL Server. See, there are two things. If you guys want to use the Visio, I can use the Visio, or I can use mostly I will use the Notepad or Paint, or we can go with the SQL Server Windows. Okay, so best way is usually I will use the Paint for diagrams. Instead of that, we can use the Visio or PowerPoint. Okay, PowerPoint. This will help you guys to do little bit. Okay, blank presentation, it will come like this. Okay, there are templates in the right side when you go ahead, right? So you can choose which template you want to. Okay, if suppose you are looking for this template, it will come. So all the things will be there, whatever template you are looking for. So otherwise this kind of templates will come in the PowerPoint. You can use these templates. Okay, or you can go for the black template. New slide, it will copy like this. So here we'll go about a SQL Server. SQL Server has three topics. Okay, one is SQL admin, SQL development, okay, and MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence. Microsoft Business Intelligence. These three topics will cover under SQL Server. Okay. Now, if you go to the SQL Server admin, okay, SQL admin. SQL admin, how to install, installations, configurations, if any configurations required, what kind of configurations, and backups, restores, database backup, database restore. Okay, post that we will discuss about security. Okay, post that we will discuss about security, what kind of security we will follow under the SQL Server. That is the measure. This one requires for both the development as well as the admin. And one more is we will discuss about high availability disaster recovery. If server got failed or due to disaster the server rooms got failed, how can we recover the data? Okay, maybe it is a banking sector. If suppose due to the floods or due to the earthquakes something got happened at the server where that server room is present, in that scenario how do you recover the data? Okay, that is called HADR, high availability disaster recovery. Okay, This is, and one more thing is called replication. Okay, these topics comes under the administration. SQL, if you are want to become a SQL admin, you do not want to write any code. Okay, you do not want to write any code, then you will go and learn these concepts, SQL Server administration. Okay, this is not present in the, mostly these concepts are simplified in the Azure, but on premise, if you are still working on the on premise servers, then these kind of things are different, and if you are working on the Azure, these kind of things are different. Okay, you have to remember one point: SQL Server as a PaaS, PaaS, yesterday we discussed it, right? SQL Server as a PaaS, we are using it. Okay, there these concepts are little different. Okay, okay, so as a pass we are going, then SQL Server, these kind of activities are different, we will learn that. And as a on-premise server, these kind of things what we will do, that is different. Okay, that we need to learn. So installations, how do we install the SQL Server? Like yesterday we discussed to install, right? There, what are the steps involved? Each and every steps, stay back for a minute and check it. Don't click on the next. Okay, when you are installing, set back, and each slide set back your time for a 2 seconds, and then check what is there in that screen, and then move forward. Okay, you will get the first one. Configurations, what kind of configurations required, that we will discuss about. And backups, restores, if something wants, if your office you are asking a help on the one of the project, then you should have the database in your local machine to discuss. Otherwise you should have the office laptop, right? If you are not having a office laptop, you got the desktop there, and you want to get the data into your the personal laptop, then you take the copy of the office database and then restore in the personal laptop. So that is called backup restore. Okay, take a backup, come and restore in the local machine. Security, how many ways you can connect to the SQL Server? Okay, how many ways you can connect to the SQL Server? Okay, but this is called authentication. You should, what is the difference between authentication and authorization? Okay, this difference we should know very clearly. So each and every application, where entrance is called a authentication, inside what you can perform, what are the security things, what are the permissions you have, that is called authorization. That is called authorization. Entrance is nothing but a authentication. Okay, you have to remember this. Whenever we security we talk about two things: authentication, authorization. Okay, this we discussed. HRDR, whenever something got failed, primary server, how to get the data for the same, whatever was there in that server. So replication, if you are, if suppose if you take an example, one of the private hospitals has to share the data, corona patients information on daily basis to the government. Okay, so that kind of information, only patient information they will share, they won't share the billing information, correct? So only partial data they want to share to the other server, then they can go for the replication. Okay, we will discuss about it in depth, but this is not the core topic for us, because we are going with the development, not the admin. But still we will discuss couple of items out of this. Already you are learning this, right? So this, the five topics, right? I will one of the day we will choose it and we will go ahead and do. Okay, okay, next, SQL development, you need to concentrate more on this. Okay, here majorly first topic is, we will discuss about DDL commands, DML commands, DCL commands. Okay, so how to create the database and how to create the tables, how to alter the tables, those things will come under the DDL, DCL commands. Number two, how to write a queries, simple queries. Okay, simple queries with filters. Where class? I want only specific data. I want to make a groups, that is called group by. I want to segregate the grouped data, that means aggregate filters, having class. I want to order the data, order by class. These are the keywords. Along with this, there is a one more concept called joins. These are all comes under queries. Joins, where class, group by class, having class, order by class. Okay, these are the things. Then what are the other things related to queries? Okay, other things are case statement, if statement, case statement and if statement. These two are also part of the queries, along with top keyword, distinctive keyword, top keyword and distinct keyword. Okay, these are the majorly used keywords inside the queries: case, if, top, distinct. Okay, then we will go for the string functions, date functions, string functions, date functions, aggregate functions. Is it I'm able to audible?
Yes, sure, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. String functions, date functions, aggregate functions, and analytical functions. Okay, along with that, there are a specific functions. Apart from this, there are few specific functions. Okay, so mathematical functions and all those comes under the string functions only. I'm treating math functions. Suppose if you take a lead, lag, otherwise power, square, these kind of functions are also available, but mostly in the real time, very rare scenarios we will go for them, but very frequently used functions are this. Okay, new id function, rand function, these are the majorly used built-in functions. These are all called built-in functions. Okay, next, once you know this, then the complex queries comes. What are those? Subqueries, inline select, okay, correlated subqueries, common table expressions, inline views. So these are the types. See, it looks like very similar all of them, but there will be a slight difference. I will just explain you what is that slight difference. Okay, so subqueries, inline select, correlated subqueries, common table expressions, inline views. Okay, these are the majorly used keywords while writing a query. Okay, if I ask something, if I write something and ask you what is this, you should be able to identify. Yeah, this is called a inline select. Okay, that kind of things. When see, you are able to write, but you should know the keyword as well, so that when you are explaining something with the team, you should be able to segregate and do that. Okay, that's where we need to know what it is and when to use them. Okay, so this is the one thing. Once this is written, then we will go for the TSQL. Okay, TSQL. See, these joins, queries, all these are just a queries. Okay, so what is TSQL? Programming language. Okay, SQL Server programming language is nothing but a TSQL. Number one, procedures. Two, user defined functions. user defined functions, views, triggers, procedures, functions, views, and triggers. Along with this, there are couple of items in this. I forgot to mention. Global variables. Okay, I will explain that. What is global variables? Here, procedures, functions, triggers, views, and jobs. Oh, sorry. It comes under DB admin. Sorry, here jobs, maintenance plans. Majorly jobs will be monitoring by the admins. Developer will write a job, but that maintenance will be taken care by the admin. Okay, we will learn this too as well. Majorly this views are defined as a defined functions, triggers. Yes, everything is covered. Okay. Okay. There are special features. Okay, what are those special features we will learn? Okay, SQL server related. So command, from the command line, what you can write? Okay, one is SQL CMD without SSMS. Yesterday we discussed it, right? Without SSMS you can write everything through the command line. Okay, that is called this, otherwise OSQL. Okay, this is the one. And see, one more is BCP, bulk copy protocol, and one more is bulk insert, open rosette, open query. Okay, these are the SQL server related end to end. There is maybe one or two is there, but those things will not be that much required. But here is the one. If you know this part, SQL server developer post or admin post, these are the enough. Okay, these are the enough. So SQL server, admin, development, and MSBA, right? So MSBA, what it covers is, now we done with the development. Now MSBA. MSBI is a Microsoft Business Intelligence. Okay, Microsoft Business Intelligence. Now, what are the things come under this? There are tools developed by the Microsoft. Those three tools are called SSIS, SSRS, SSIS. Sorry, SSAS. So, integrate SQL Server Integration Services. Integration services. SQL Server reporting services. SQL Server analysis services. Okay, this we will just clearly basics like what it is and why we are using this. This part we will cover, but we are not going depth on this because this is a separate topic. It takes a lot of days, but I will show you which tools we are using. What is the basic if something comes in the future for the migration purpose, right? Whenever they want to migrate from on-premise to Azure, they will be showing this and they will asking to go through and understand it and develop the new things in the Azure. Okay, that point of time nowadays it is getting in the India. There are maintenance projects under this category, but mostly it is like very less comparatively earlier. Everyone is going to, nowadays with the Azure only. Okay, cover, right? So these are the major topics under SQL Server. Okay, now if it goes to, yeah, you're asking something. Azure. Okay, what are the things we will cover in the Azure? Number one, Azure SQL Server. Okay, Azure SQL Server. Number two, Azure Data Factory. Azure Databricks. Azure Synapse. Key Vault. Logic App. App registration. Okay, so majorly for the data side, these are the important things for the data. Okay, so SQL Server, how we will create the Azure SQL Server, what kind of flavors available, and which purpose, which kind of flavor is suitable. Okay, what is the purpose of your business and which type is suitable for that, and you should be able to verify. And also cost optimization. So company using a Azure, right? Azure is a, if you see the payments, right, monthly subscription, we have to pay monthly. Okay, if you reduce a cost in the monthly wise, the company will be very happy, right? So you should be monitoring that on the daily basis. If you see 5-10 minutes in a day and you say that why it got created, why can't we utilize the existing one, so please remove, you are not using this, these kind of recommendations you sure, if you are giving to the company, then you will be on the top, right? So basically that will help to the company as well. So as our company, if you treat as a, the company is yours, you will maintain mostly on, you will concentrate on this item only. Okay, so that's why we will also see the what are the ways we can reduce the cost. So this is SQL Server, and this is Data Factory ETL tool, Azure ETL tool. Azure Databricks is the big data tool. Third party big data tool. Okay, third party big data tool introduced in the Azure. So this the Azure Databricks available in the Amazon AWS as well as our cloud Azure. Both the Microsoft is also selling this and Amazon is also selling this. This is the third party company, they tied up with the Microsoft as well as Amazon. That is Azure Synapse. This is the big data tool from Microsoft. Okay, Key Vault, bank locker. What do you keep in the bank locker? Just like a gold and cash, right? The similarly, we will important things like a passwords which should not be seen by the others. That kind of things we'll keep it. Okay, what is Logic App? It is the application flow. Okay, one by one, if you want to run 3 applications one after another, how do you segregate that in the application, right? So that kind of things are nothing but here. But if you go to the Azure Data Factory, data flow will be there here, but data flow is different and application flow is different. Okay, so app registration. Okay, this is called service principal number. Service principal number. See, in the Azure PaaS services, what are the things related to data? Those things we are identified here. So Azure PaaS services, what are the services we need to learn as part of the data? As part of the data, these are the major items. Okay, so service principal is the one which is a username and password. So this is the app registration. This is just a username, user ID. This user ID will be used for authentication purpose. Okay. So company will give you the access, right? Similarly, will give the access to one of the service principal. If you are leaving the company or someone is coming the company, the application which is running. If you take an example of services, okay, I will just show you example. What is service account? Okay, service account. If you see here, if the NT account, right, I can also run from my using my account here. I can go and change the logon, right? This account I can change it. I can say that run with my account. Yes, this service will run my account. If suppose suddenly I will leave the company, the my user ID got removed, automatically this will stop working. So such kind of things will not, we should not happen in the organization, right? For that reason, a dummy account they will create for the project, dummy account for the project, dummy user for the project. That user is called, that user is called uh, service account. That user is called service account. Okay, service account. So that kind of things, whatever is there, so those things in the Azure we will call it as a service principal or app registration. One dummy app will get created that will be used across all the services to connect. That is called SPN, service principal number. You should be remembering this. Okay, most of the people or all the projects will use this. Okay, cost optimization anyway. Okay, any doubts till now what we are covering? If anyone already knows about it, if anything got missed, you can include it. Okay, clear, right? SQL server side and Azure side, what are the items we are covering as part of the our training? Yeah, these are the major ones, right? Okay, let's go and start first SQL server. Okay, any doubts? Someone is asking something.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm there.
Yeah, Srinath. When we can use database as a service?
Database as a service.
Yeah.
Okay. So nowadays all the databases are on-premise servers. Okay. Now on-premise servers, there are two things. One is server you should buy, and then you have to maintain it. Monthly patchings. Suppose Windows patch comes, you have to install that patches. All these are actually inside the SQL Server mission. All these are mandatory. Once you buy the server, you maintain the server and also backup restores. Who takes the backup of the database? Backup database, SQL Server administrator, right? So once you backup the database, you need to store it somewhere. Okay, that is also your responsibility. Suppose you are there today and your medical shop. Suppose take an example of medical shop. Okay, so today there are sales and a backup. You are left the day for, you are left the day from the medical shop, and tomorrow by the morning if you comes, suppose that medical shop got fired. Okay, think in that case, where is your backup? Where you stored your backup? Some whatever is gone case, at least you should have the data available, right, to validate, what validate the claim, insurance claim or something. They will ask you where is your database. Okay, so such a case, getting back the server is very difficult because it is already fired. Okay, for that reason, PaaS is the one of the PaaS. We are not maintaining a server. You remember yesterday we discussed about it. We are not maintaining the server. Okay, we are only maintaining the PaaS service. Okay, if you go and check in the service, right, if you go and verify here, the PaaS service they will maintain. We are not maintaining. You just check the yesterday diagram, right? They will maintain the overall thing. We will be only working on it. We are utilizing that platform. So if you go for the PaaS SQL server database, backups and restores will be maintained by them. Whenever you ask, hey, I want yesterday evening 5 p.m. data. After that, by mistake, I deleted one of the table. Sorry for that, but I want yesterday 5 p.m. whatever was there till that date. I want that data as a copy, separate copy. Okay. There is a system called point in time restore. Point in time restore. That means that the point of whatever was there, that you can restore. Such kind of things are very difficult in the on-premise server. Okay. And also disaster recovery. Whenever something comes, right, floods or earthquakes, right, if the server data center will go away. Okay. Such kind of things. Here geo replica, geographical relation. Suppose your main server West US and the other server will be in the West Europe or Europe, Central Europe. Okay. So primary server is the West US, whatever the regularly using by the users, and the secondary backup server will be there. And primary to secondary, they will take care of it, how to sync the data. If something got happened in the West US server, automatically you can recover from the Central Europe server. So that kind of things you no need to configure. You just say that I need it, but make sure that you are paying for the two servers. Amount should be paid monthly as part of the monthly subscription. You have to pay the two bills 2 times. One is for the primary server and another for the secondary server. Even you are making the disaster recovery in the on-premise servers, you are making two servers. See, we discussed right here disaster recovery. If you go for the admin, sorry, if you go for the admin, as part of this, there are log shipping, always on, and log shipping, always on, clustering. These concepts are there. These concepts requires a minimum 2 servers. One is primary and secondary, another one is secondary. Okay. Similarly, we need same thing in the Azure as well, right? So in the Azure also, there is a concept called geo replica. Okay, that will work for that. So we will discuss about more on that later. Okay. When we are creating the Azure SQL server, we will be creating all those options we are explaining to you guys. Okay, it takes a next 5 to 10 days. We will see. Post that, what you will understand something, right? Post that, we will discuss what is the advantage of the Azure SQL and what is the differences between the on-premise SQL server and Azure SQL, why we need to go for the Azure SQL. Okay, so that kind of things. So it is majorly for maintenance. Leave it about other point. Majorly for maintenance, easy maintenance. That is the ultimate goal. Okay, but couple of things will not work, couple of things will work, couple of new advantages are there. Those kind of things we will discuss when we are going with the Azure SQL. Okay, clear? Okay. Okay, let's come back here. What are the things we are learning is today is first statement. Okay, DDL, DML and DCL. Okay, these are the, there are multiple folks who are very new to software, right? Let's go with the step by step. First 2 days are very important for them. Maybe it is very not required much for the already who knows the subject, right? So but still you need to bear with it. Okay. Okay, here first thing what I want to show you is how to be very familiar with this tool. That is important. Okay, every day when you comes, right, you just come here and Object Explorer. Okay, click on a view Object Explorer, close it, view Object Explorer, do it 10 times. Okay, so you will be very familiar. This is the Object Explorer on everyday basis we will use. You should know this. If you are not able to visible this, if you are not seeing it, just go to the view Object Explorer. Okay, so once you are done, it will looks like this. Okay, if you are opening first and you just cancel it, it will come like this. Don't connect to the server, it will come like here. You can able to connect to the from the Object Explorer, connect option is there, just go it, and you just give the dot here. If you are installed a default instance, if you have the default instance, just give the dot and connect it. Okay, once you connect, here you will see multiple folders here. These are all default folders. These are all default folders. Databases, security, object, server objects, replication, and polybase query and management. Okay, so these are all the folders. If you expand the database, this is the one which is very, very important, right? So databases are built-in databases, that means system databases, and user defined databases. Whatever you are seeing with the black right here, those are all user defined databases. If you expand the server databases, that is system databases, that means built-in databases. Okay, so master, model, MSDB, and TempDB. Okay, this we will discuss about tomorrow. Okay, built-in databases we will discuss about tomorrow. We will go with the here, right, in the SQL server, in the admin, built-in databases. This is also important. Okay, built-in databases. And user defined database. How do you create a user defined database? Don't go with the wizard. Right click, new database, right click on the databases, new database, just give the database name DB2, otherwise DB first. Okay, otherwise DB employee. Database is employee database. Okay, so here it will have the two default files. Where these two default files are sitting here, the path C:, all the way installation path of the SQL server. Okay, two files will be there. One is log file, another one is the data file. If we see here, bottom one is the log file, first one is the data file. So this is the logical name, and the physical name will be sitting under this path. Okay, let's create this DB employee database. You will see, but my suggestion is not to create like this. Go with the script. Create database. You are able to see my size of the. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Font. Database DB employee. Okay, just give DB employee, nothing else. Okay, it will create the database. Now, as I mentioned, there will be two files. I said, okay, where those two files are sitting, how do you know? Okay, there is a command called sp_help file. sp_help file. Okay, this one shows the two files. Are you able to see now? See the same path. We are in the master. Go to the database, whatever we created. Our database name is DB employee, and DB employee related files it will show now. Select that sp_help file. So whenever I ask you how many files are there for the database and where those files are sitting physically, if I ask you what is the command we have to use, sp_help file. And there is a one more command called select star from sys.files. sys.sys files. sys.sys files. Master files, sorry. sys.master files. Here it will show all the database related files. All the database related. If we take a DB employee, this is our database.
Srinath, here if you want to see only that particular
DB employee name. How can we give the command?
In the master files?
Yeah,
No,
if you want
you know that.
only
See,
that DB employee.
correct. You can filter it. See, here you know the database ID, right? Normally, sys.databases. Select star from sys.databases first.
Okay.
Okay. First write the databases. You have the all the databases available here. What is your database name and identify the database ID and come back to this
Okay.
one and where database ID equal to 7.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay, this is how you will be able to identify. There are two files, right? So
Yeah.
now it is clear. Now if you come back and you want to know what are the files specifically for this database, and the best way is sp underscore help file. Okay, so instead of going to the views and then identifying, right, either go with the sp underscore help file. Now clear. Now how the question here, okay, you need to concentrate 5 minutes please. Okay, the question here is how the default files are sitting in this path. Even if I correct a one more database, same path it will show for every database, how it is and where this configuration is done. So if you want to change the path of the files to D colon, okay, all the new databases should come and sit in the D drive instead of C drive. Okay, that is the configuration you will observe while installing it. While installing it will show you this is the path going forward, databases will be sitting. Okay, that path whenever you want you can also change it. Okay, that change can be done by using a properties of the server. Go to the first node of this tree, and this is the properties. Go to the database settings. Here it will shows where the data file should sit, where the log file should sit, where the backup, whenever you are taking the backup, default backup should sit. This one we are not at came, but first two you see, this is the path it is sitting. If you go on the left side, right, if you see here, same thing here also it is data slash employee. See that if you are changed here C to D, suppose it is not showing, remove it and default will change it at the server level. Sorry, I do not have any other drive in my system, sir. Sorry. Only C I have, right? That's the reason it is showing only C. Otherwise in your system it will show D. Okay, but what I can do is I can do go and create a new folder called data, and I will ask all the files to sit directly in the C colon data. I will say go and sit all the files in data folder. Perfect. And log file also perfect. Log file and data file both will sit under C and drive. Correct. Now we done it, right? Whenever you change the settings of the server, this is the server node. Okay, you must change the restart the server. So this is the way to restart it. Right click and restart, or come back to the service, right click and restart. Okay, either of the way, come to the services and restart, or come directly in the Visual Studio Object Explorer, right click and restart. Okay, either of the way it will work. Now if I go and create a new database, create database db2, think, okay, I'm creating it. I just want to know now where are the files sitting. Use, I will check it now. I am in the database. Why it is not showing? Still it is going in the same path. Did we save the setting? Somehow it is not saved the setting. Sorry. We are not saved the setting. Okay, that is the reason. restart from here. Drop database. Drop database. If you do not want database, you can drop it. Okay. Again, it is currently in use because I am already using, right? You just change it. Change to another database. See, whenever issue comes, please read the comment very carefully. Okay. Read the error message very carefully. It is very easy. Okay. You follow that pattern. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Okay. Create database name. Okay, now we will go and we will select our database here in the top and we will verify our files. See here, it got modified. Clear where the database files are sitting. See, my intention is how to change all the, my intention is you should be able to identify where the files are sitting related to the database. Okay, there will be a two default files. One is data file and another one is log file, and each database will have the two files minimum, but there are other pattern where we will add a new files also. But a minimum how many files? Two files. One is log file and another one is data file. What is the extension of the log file? LDF. What is the extension of the log file? LDF. What is the extension of the master data file? MDF. What is the extension of the data file? MDF. Okay, these two are, you should remember. Okay, go and verify the database files.
Srinath,
Now
can you
see.
come again?
So each database will have the default two files. One is, our target is to remember there will be a files under the database. Okay, you have to know that every database will have the default two files. One is master data file and another one is log data file. Okay, so how to check these two, where that related files are sitting for that particular database? Select sp underscore, first select the database and come back here and write sp underscore help file, otherwise master files. Okay, it will show you where those files are sitting. What I mean to say, one more point here, we can also add additional files. Those are all called secondary data file, NDF. Those are also called NDF, secondary data files. How do you add a NDF? Okay, first refresh the databases here. It will show your custom database DB2. Right click on it, new data. Here, just go for the properties. Okay, go for the properties. Here files will be there. You can add a new file here. Add. Okay, what is the file? DB2 underscore secondary NDF file 1. Okay, and you see here the C:, data default path, it is automatically taking. Earlier we changed the properties of the server, right? So based on that it is taking. Just click on OK. But make sure the first file is not DB2. You have to change the logical file name from DB2 to under something else. Okay, now you click on it, you have the three files. Now how many files are there for the database? MDF, LDF and NDF. Got it? Clear how the files and how to add the files? Okay, so these are the major things in the while creating the database. Okay,
Srinath, one quick question here.
yes.
What is the reason we have to create an NDF file? What is the exact advantage to create an NDF file?
Okay, see here, right? Let me ask you one question before going. Okay, why we are splitting hard disk? This question. Whenever you buy a computer and install your Windows, you will split the hard disk. Okay, 500 GB hard disk you have given, 500 GB hard disk you will split into C and D. Usually, okay, people will be keeping usually we will be picking 250 here or 250 here, suppose. Why we split this is, you want to utilize the maximum read and write capacities of the drive. So whenever system is using a C drive for the operating system, we will use the D drive for reading the films and copying something and deleting something or moving something. Okay, so that kind of activities we can split it. Okay, hard disk will split the read and write capacities into two parts. Okay, one will be used for operating server related and another one be using for the user related operators. So similarly, if we have the two activities in the database, one is sales and another one is purchases. Okay, sales wise application .NET application is there, sales guys are 50% are connected. Okay, and similarly purchases are also 10 people are connected. Now purchase people are adding into the database, whatever purchases are happening, sales guys are doing operations, whatever sales are happening. Okay, 10 people and 50 people, all the 50 people's work will should sit in the D drive, all the 10 people should work sit in the E drive. Okay, what my suggestion is, segregate the tables, all the purchases tables into E drive, all the sales related tables into C drive. Now what is the easiest way? Now you, before creating a database, make sure that one file got created in the E and one file got created in the D. Okay, so that the future whenever the operations are happening, right, read and write capacity is already segregated. But question here is, how do you create the sales tables in the E drive? Correct. So
Right.
D and the purchases tables in the E drive. That's what, first you create the file, and then what you do is, there is a concept called file group. What is that concept? File group. Here I will just show you that. Okay, okay, let's complete this as well. This is also important for senior folks. Okay, so file groups. Okay, now go to the file. Here it is showing a file group. You see this, right?
Right.
These are the two master files. Okay, these are the two data files. This is the only log file, leave it about. This is the primary data file and this is the secondary data file. Just now what we created is this. I want for this, right, I do not want to keep it in the primary. Let me remove it. Okay, let me remove and click add. Sorry. db2 underscore n1. Okay, sorry. Let's go back, create, and then we'll come back again because it is not saved yet. Files. Now I will add the file, secondary data file, db2 underscore n1. Okay, now I do not want this in the same file group. I want a new file group. This is called sales. Primary will be for purchases. Okay, think this is called sales related. Will terminology, otherwise what we can do is secondary. Okay, primary and secondary. Which one you want? If suppose you are not mentioning some table you are creating blindly, that table should sit where? Default, whether the secondary or primary. That primary will be the default, secondary I am not making it as a default. I am not making it. Okay, secondary is secondary. Okay, primary will be the default. Okay, so now I have created the table, I have created the secondary file. That file is also sitting in the separate file group. That file group name is secondary. Okay, now I come back and I will say create table sales. Okay, sales table sit in the which drive? Secondary file, right? So id integer name where care of something and on secondary, on secondary. So whatever you keep, right, so this is where you will segregate the tables. So first you create the file and that file should sit in the E drive, the post that you want one of the tables to sit in the E drive, you know that E drive related file, whatever the secondary files, the file group. Okay, mention that file group here. So directly this file, now this table is sitting in the E drive.
So the by default, all the tables are going to be in a primary, and if you want to mention
Yeah.
is like the separate. I mean to say, like if you want to create as another separate tables in the secondary drive, then specifically you have to mention, or explicitly you have to mention, okay, go and sit this table into another secondary table
Exactly.
rather than
Yeah.
sitting on the primary table. Okay,
Correct.
thank you, Srinath.
Yeah. And now I will just show you my real-time procedure. I will just click on one of the database, my current production database. I will just show you how the files are sitting. You guys need to concentrate 1 minute, okay? See here. See here. Okay, sp_help file I told you, right? So there are tables, okay? You check the drive, okay? Check the drive, okay? It is all 2 terabyte to 4 terabyte drives. Okay, you are seeing, right? It is very big file drives. Okay, my overall database, it is around 6 terabyte, around 6 terabyte. Now if you see here, the drive names are different here. Drive names are different. See, organization related files are sitting in the Q, marketing related are sitting in the Y. Okay, leave it about these two. Okay, organization related sitting in the Y, individual related sitting in the V, ET data sitting in the X. Okay, alternate key is sitting in the K. See, I am able to segregate. While creating the table, I mentioned that related to alternate key table should sit in which file group? FG file group underscore alternate key. So automatically whatever the tables I created on this file group, all of them will sit in which drive? K drive. Clear? You are clear, right? Without file group, you cannot segregate the tables. So you need a file group. Once you know the file group, you know that for related to which file it is. Okay, while creating that file itself, you are mentioning the file group name. So this is how you need to segregate files. So I know that one drive is not enough for me. Even Microsoft is not selling more than 4 terabyte drive. See, terabytes of drives will not get in the hard disk. How much hard disk you will get? You will get hardly 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, right? Not more than that in the market. So in that scenario, how do you make your database 6 terabytes or 10 terabyte database should sit in the one drive? Not possible. And also, even though it sits in the one drive, it will be very difficult to manage a read and writes. So we will let's segregate the first read and write capacity of the drive, and then post that we will utilize that each and read and writes of the each drive for each purpose. So that's how it is. Post this, there is a table partition that is entirely different. Overall database wise, make it in the different drives and with the different file groups, you will be having a perfect picture of the database. Okay, clear?
Thank you, Srinath.
So this is the major reason we will be creating the files and file groups. Okay, everyone clear? Files and file groups, how to create the database, and how to change the database files, and how to change the path of the overall settings. So in the future, anyone comes, it will sit in the C:\data, because already in the server level default folder itself I modified and restarted. Whenever you change anything in the setting, it will get modified, or you have to restart to get affected immediately. So one thing. Another one is what you have to learn is what are the security related authentication types. On-premise server only 2, Windows and SQL. Azure we have bottom 3. Okay, you leave it about. While connecting to the Azure, I will explain these 3. And as of now, here you see Azure. That means that is related to Azure. Okay, what are the regular pattern? One, Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication. Okay, Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication, whatever it is showing here, that is important for the on-premise SQL Server. That means your local SQL Server. Okay, how many modes are there? Authentication modes. One is Windows and another one is SQL. Okay, SQL authentication and Windows authentication. Okay, while you are installing, this is also configurable. Hey man, going forward, I never use the SQL Server authentication. I want always everyone should follow the Windows authentication. Yes, that is possible. Go to the server. While installing, it will shows in one of the screen says that security. What is the option I enabled? SQL Server and Windows authentication. Both should work for my server. I will say in the office, I will configure only Windows. SQL Server, I won't give the option at all. Okay, there is a setting. Once you click on OK, it never allows the SQL Server authentication users. It will allow only Windows authentication users. Whoever is joined in the office, only for them, not for the others who are connecting from the outside through the SQL authentication. Windows authentication means whoever is there in the office, Windows users. Okay. So that is the one which right now I kept the both, because whenever I want to show both of them, right? So that's the reason. So whenever you are connecting, make sure that you are connecting to the Windows authentication. If I say SQL authentication, it will ask what is the username and password. SQL authentication requires the username and password. Let's go back to Windows and we will create one SQL authentication. Go to the security, logins, create new login. Okay, you are concentrating, right? So don't go away from here. Okay, so be conscious for 5-10 minutes, so you will get it easily. So this is also important, how to create the user. Okay, if you go and join for the administrative job, there is a possibility that only security admin, you are nothing else. You are only, if you go for the Walmart project, you will be only security admin for the SQL Server. Okay, in such a scenarios, you should know all the concepts here. Okay, now what I am telling is here, I will create a one user SQL authentication user, and SQL authentication, the username is, I will say, Ram. Okay, and authentication password is test@123, test@123. Okay, I am not enforcing, okay, anything. Enforce means it is the password policies. Okay, enforcing password policy. Hey, immediate next login, change your password. I created this password for the Ram, but Ram can change and keep his own password. Okay, so that is then we can enforce it. User must change in the next login. Okay, so that those options are available. Okay, I'm not saying no. And whenever Ram connects to the server, make sure that by default master will get selected in the starting database. Master system database, master will be selected. No, Ram should go always into one of the database called, oh, I am in the server, sorry. Let me log into my local. Okay, go to the security, right click on the security, new login, and then give the username. And I said Ram password is something, whatever you feel, you just give it here, and then enforce, you remove it. And then roles is the important, right? Now you know how to, authentication is okay, but authorization part who will decide? Okay, whether that guy is a fresher, you just give the database read. That guy is a senior and manager, give the admin permission. That guy manager can manage anything. That guy is from the sales, just give the read permission. That guy is a purchaser guy, just give the access to the purchases related tables. Okay, these are all called authorization. What after logging into the server, what he can perform, that is called authorization. So that authorization can be at a server level, at user base, your database level, or something called stable level. Okay, let's discuss that. And first one, we have created the user. I am saying that this guy is a database overall server, SQL server administrator, SQL admin. No, I won't give the SQL admin. I will give him only database creator. This guy knows how to create the database and how to drop the database, nothing else. He never go inside the database. He will only manage databases. Then what is the permission we have to give him? DB creator. Okay. Okay. There is a server admin. You see that server admin is different. System admin is different. System admin means entire head. Server admin means who will go and change the properties of the server. He can go and change the properties of the server. He cannot add a new user or he cannot create the database. He can only change the server level details. Just now we changed the server level default paths, right? Database path. Such as settings can be modified by the server admin. So as I mentioned, Walmart required a security admin. He can only add the user and he can remove the user. Give this permission. Clear? What are the major roles we are discussing about here? No, he can only log in, but he cannot do anything in the server. See, public. He cannot do anything. He just logins. He has the entrance, but after going in, nothing he can do. Nothing. He cannot expand a database also. You just see that. See, you are not given any role to him, right? Public role. Okay. Now I will be disconnecting and connecting back with the RAM. SQL authentication, connecting back with the RAM. RAM account. I connected. Okay. Now you see me. I will be expanding, right? See here, not expandable because we are not given permission to this guy. This guy does not have any permission to perform. Okay. So what his role is in the going forward, that role if you want to give, I am the admin for the SQL server, admin for the server. So I am connecting and he came to me and asking, sir, I am not able to do anything. Then I will go and I will say that, where is the RAM? Here is the RAM. Go to his properties. Go to his properties and modify the roles. Hey man, what is the role you are looking for? Yes sir, I am going to work on the security admin. Just give this role. No, I am a senior manager, give me all the permissions. Yes, I am giving you. Okay, I am leaving the company today and you will be the administrator for this server from tomorrow. I am giving you sysadmin because you are going to handle everything. Okay, so similarly, if I go for the server admin, he can only change the server settings. If I go and create the DB creator, you can only create the databases and drop the databases. You cannot do anything related to security, related to databases, nothing inside database, no, but only creating database. You are the guy who is the only having a permission to create the database. Okay, clear? So I am giving RAM as a system admin. Now RAM can do anything. RAM has all the permissions. Okay, clear till now? Are you following me? How to create the database and how to add the files and how to add a file group and how to create the table on top of it. Okay, those kind of things are very easy in the. Okay, now security also, you know. Okay, now I will go and I will give the permission to Swapna only on one database. That database name is called UK1. Okay, think. I do not want to UK. I do not want to give all the databases. Swapna is working on only UK database and server level no permissions, only login available. After that only UK data inside UK database she can perform anything. She is a owner for the UK, but she is not owner for the others. She should not touch anything other databases. Okay, you are restricting her to handle whatever she want to do under the UK. Let her do, because we are giving a full permissions. If something happens to this database, Swapna is the responsible person. Okay, let's create the Swapna. Okay, now go back and create Swapna account. Swapna account, SQL authentication, and here whatever the password we want to give, and I am not enforcing her to change anything, and I will go to the server roles. I am not giving anything in the server role because I am not handling at the server level. I am handling at the database level UK. Let's go to the UK and select the UK database, and in the bottom it is showing the properties. What is the permission to the Swapna role level? Okay, what are the roles we have to give to Swapna? Now I am giving her a owner so that she can do anything inside database. She can even drop it. Okay, she's the owner for that database. I don't want to give the owner permission to the Swapna. She is a junior data developer, just joined yesterday. She want to understand one week only reading the day file, reading the tables. Okay, what is there in? Then give the data reader, DB data reader. Okay, so if you are asking Swapna to enter the data into database, write data writer. Okay, if you want to make it as admin, that means DDL admin. What are the DDL commands? We will discuss. Okay, create, drop, truncate, alter. These are the those operations. New table creations, old table drops, everything she can handle. In that scenario, give her a DDL admin. Okay, just make it as a data owner. All the things will come out. Cool. What are the permissions Swapna have? Only one database, full access. One database, full access. See, roles are very, very, very important. What role? Think, step back in a minute. Think, what is the role suitable for her? What is the role suitable for him? What is the purpose he is coming into our server? What is his purpose? He is really, he is our employee. Yes, he is really an employee or really a user. What permissions we should give him? You are not supposed to give the whole, hey, sysadmin, give the everyone sysadmin. She do not know how to handle, she will drop the database. You are the guy who is the admin, and tomorrow you will be the person, everyone will come and ask you only. She is not, she is a junior, right? We cannot, see, to simplify the process, you cannot give sysadmin for everyone. That will be, the headache will come later point up to us. So to eliminate such a kind of thing, step back a minute and do whatever the permissions, right permissions we have to give her, give only that. Okay, that way you can control it. So server is in your control. Okay, let them play under the control. Okay, for that reason roles are provided. Follow the roles. Right role, you just give it to them so that you won't get any headache in the later. Okay, clear now? Okay, now I will say that there is a one guy, Nagaraju. Nagaraju is a junior developer. We are not giving any permissions to him. We are giving permissions only on one table. Okay, think there is a table called T1. You just want to give one table permission. Okay, first create Nagaraju, and then there is a DCL commands. Okay, grant and revoke, grant and revoke. Just you create the first login, don't give any permission. The role will be public role, by default public role, and he does not have any permissions, right? After that we have to create the user, and user has grant, select permission on T1. Okay, these things we will discuss it later because you are not aware of the all the syntaxes, right? So later, after 1 month, if you ask me, I will explain at the object level permissions, how to grant a object level permissions to users. Okay, and as part of the security, one more thing you have to remember. Okay, one thing is, what is the login? Logins can be there in the server security side, and there is a one more security in the UK. Under each database, again secure folder will be there, security. What is this security and what is this security? This is database level security. This is server level security. Server level security is different. Database level security is different. Okay, server level, whatever is there, that is called a users. There is no logins here. Entrance will have, server will have the entrance, that is called login. Whatever inside the database, that is called user. Okay, each login will be mapped to one of the user. You hear Swapna is there, because we are specifically given the permission to Swapna on the UK database. That's why Swapna came here. It got created user. How do you create the user? Create user Swapna for login Swapna. Means I am keeping server name, login name and username both are same, so that we can recognize easily. So this login is mapped to this user. You can also change the login name, username. I am not saying no. There is a possibility login name can be a different and username can be a different, but still, if you want to validate in the future purpose, whenever you are maintaining a server, if you keep both of them same, you can easily identify, oh, Swapna login is there, Swapna user is there. So this is our user. If you want to remove anything related to database, come back here and remove it. So that's how you need to keep the users and logins. Okay, so this is how logins will get created, users will get created. Users mostly automatically, whenever based on the permissions you provide, right, automatically users will get created. Sometimes we may need to create, then we will go and create. Okay, so we will discuss about the users and granting permissions later. So after 5 to 6 days, right, you know most of the things, then we will go for that. Now is it clear now? Security, how to create the database and how to add the security to the server. Okay, so these two are very important. The third thing is, you know how to create the database now, and how to add the files, and how to add the file groups. Okay, that is also we know. Now come back to here and step back a minute and let's understand what are the system databases, what are the uses of it. Okay, there are 4 databases. One is master, MSDB, TempDB, ModelDB. MSDB, TempDB, master database and model database. If I expand master, model, MSDB, TempDB. Master is a data about data, data about data, that is metadata. How many users got created, how many databases got created in this server, okay, which database is which size, who took the backup last week, who is actually dropping the database, all the things will be tracked by the master database. Logins, database related, backups, restores related, security related, everything is getting under the master database. That's why this database is called data about data. You are created the database to store the school data, and school data is storing in the school database, and how it got created, when is taking the backup, who is logging in, who is logging out, everything will be tracked in the master database. That is called data about data. Okay, so now model, template database, to create new database. Now let me ask you one simple question. Okay, I created the db2 and then I came and I written the help_help file. This is the procedure, built-in procedure. If I write it, yes, it is working, correct, it is working. Now who created this procedure? No one created. It is a blank database, right? Blank database you just created and you are able to write a procedure. These procedures are copied from the model. These procedures are already kept in the model, so it is just as a template, it is copying into the new database. Just cloning of the model is nothing but a new database. That's why I am calling it as a template to create a new database. Template to create a new database, nothing else. There is no use. But if you remove the model and then create the database, you cannot create, because there is no template available for you. So make sure that model is there, and a model will be copied as a new database. Whenever you create a database internally without knowing to you, it will use the model as a template and it will clone it. It will clone it. So that is called model. Okay, now coming back to TempDB, there are temporary tables, temporary purpose. Okay, single hash and double hash. These two are called a temporary tables, and this will get created as part of the TempDB. Okay, whenever you create a hash table, where it will sit? TempDB. Whenever you create a double hash table, where it will sit? It is just simple syntax, just like a create table hash t id integer. If you write like this, it will get created in the TempDB. Okay, once you close the server, is this window, right? Automatically it will go away again, it will drop. This is a temporary purpose. Okay, that's why TempDB available. And coming back to MSDB, whenever you create a jobs, whenever you create a mails, whenever jobs, mails and maintenance plans, These three are sitting in the MSDB. These three things are sitting in the MSDB: jobs, mails, and maintenance plans. Okay, we will learn all this. Okay, jobs, mails, maintenance. So you got the now. What are the purpose of the system databases? Each one of them is playing a specific role. So based on the roles, right? So it will be useful. Are you able to go ahead and create the database without model? No, we cannot create. We required a template. Where is that template is available? Where that Microsoft is provided a template? Yes, through the model database. If you create a one table under model today, I will just ask you, okay, one new query, model got selected. In the top, model will get selected. I will go and create a, hey man, create table. Okay, this table name is something called a sample. Okay, now post creation of this, you create a new database, sample table also will come, because that is the template, right? You are keeping this table in the inside the template. If you keep anything inside the template, that will get cloned for the new, that will get cloned for the new database. So that's why template database is important for creating a new database. Whatever you keep inside the template, everything will come in the new database. So even you test it with the creating your own table and try after that. Yes, that will also come in the new database. Okay, clear? Good. Are you able to follow me or not? If I am going very fast or slow, just let me know. Because if we go very slow, that will be very problem. We cannot cover much of the topics. But if I go this speed, I think we should be able to cover in one and a half month. Okay, is it good?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So now today, what are the things we learned? How to create the database and how to utilize the system databases and where we are utilizing, and also how to create the database inside the database, how to add the new files and also new file groups. Along with that, we are also learned about how to add a logins and give the roles for that login. Also, we discussed about how to change the properties of the server. Correct? These are the things. Today, what are the properties? We explained about two things. One is database settings and another one is security level. There are two authentication types. We can keep either one of them active and another one inactive. If I go and active this, whatever Swapna user and Ram user, right, that will not work, because those are all SQL authentication users. That will not work. Okay, because if we enable this, then both will work. Okay, so this kind of settings available at the server level. Make sure that you are going and verifying the server level settings. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Any questions today? Tomorrow we'll go for the development part. Okay, how to create DDL, DML.
Okay, sir.
Your voice is breaking. Yeah, that's what. So we'll continue. Now someone is talking. It is breaking the voice. Okay, so nothing else. Silence makes me okay. Okay, sure. You can stop the recording and share with others. So whoever wants this recording